The past 2 weeks, TBT has once again thrilled basketball fans with energy, excitement, and elam endings that have kept everyone on edge. Today, Davis Steel comes home from Las Vegas to take on their rival, the Alumni of Kentucky. It's one game with $2 million on the line in the winner-take-all TBT championship. And it starts now on Fox. In Kentucky, they know what it takes to win, whether it's at the track or on the hardwood. And what a scene we have for you today at historic Memorial Coliseum in Lexington, Kentucky. The championship game of TBT 2026 matches unbeaten Davis Steel against La Familia, the Kentucky alumni. Here's how we got here. Kentucky came out of that alumni bracket. They're unbeaten on this floor. Lost one game at Freedom Hall. Beat Kansas to get here. Meanwhile, Davis Steel was channeling their inner David Blaine to get out of Las Vegas and knock off the Mecca to get here. They meet today here in Lexington. A very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our coverage. Bob Rathman, Nick Botts, great to have you with us here today for Kentucky. Nick, Archie Goodwin missed the first 2 games of the team in TBT, but he felt the tug of my old Kentucky home. He rejoined the ball club, and he's been the best player in the tournament.
Absolutely. He's the driving force behind La Familia's reemergence here in the championship game. And Archie Goodwin, he does it on both ends of the floor. Incredibly disruptive defensively with that 6'5" length. And then offensively, you need someone at the end of these games in the eliminating portion that can put the ball in their hands and they can go make plays, and that has been Archie Goodwin. He has, simply put, been spectacular for the Kentucky alumni in the TBT.
Everline Drive has been a TBT original back to the first tournament in 2014. Rebranded this year as Davis Steel, and Gabe York is still their leader.
Yeah, new name, but the same game led by Gabe York. The former Arizona superstar scored 1,000 points there. Can still fill it up. He's making 4 threes per game, and a lot of them are just like this. He's got deep range, and he'll shoot it with supreme confidence. Stopping Davis Steel starts with stopping Gabe York.
This place is filled to capacity. They're wearing white, and they can't wait to root on the Wildcat alums. Taking on Davis Steel. Opening tip is next. The Kentucky faithful have filled Memorial Coliseum for this one, the TBT Championship. And a pleasure to welcome in on the sidelines for us today, as always, Jen Hale.
Hi there, Bob. You know, they say revenge is a dish best served cold. And this Kentucky squad, they've been sitting on this one for a year. Yes, Davis Steel renamed only because of sponsorship. As you mentioned, the old Everline Drive. They are the team that eliminated Kentucky from contention last year right here in this very building. And let me tell you, the players remember it, and so do these fans. To up the ante, the straw that's been stirring Kentucky's drink, Archie Goodwin, who used to play for Everline Drive. So with all the emotional connections at play here, and of course $2 million, we are expecting a fantastic grudge match this afternoon, gentlemen.
Jen, thank you. And yes, indeed, a lot of emotion has rolled into this championship game. We've had some terrific venues for title games last year. The Aftershocks won at home. But here in Kentucky, Nick, this is a special feeling.
Yeah, whenever there's $2 million on the line, the drama is going to be high. But with all the connections that Jen just perfectly laid out, the drama is even going to be higher.
So your thoughts on these two teams? Davis Steel has lived by the 3 so far.
Yeah, they make 12 threes a game, and they shoot at 43% from 3. So, to me, everything begins and ends there for Davis Steel, in particular that guy. And it's going to be important for Davis Steel, I think, to get out in transition. It's harder to defend shooters when the floor is kind of spread and broken like that. So, to me, Davis Steele's got to rebound and run and explore threes early in the possession. But this Kentucky team, Bob, you called all their games. Defensively, they're long on the perimeter, and they got a former National Defensive Player of the Year, that guy right there, Willie Cauley-Stein, defending the rim.
Davis Steele gets the first possession. Clarence Armstrong, Jeff Anderson, Matt Potter are the officials for the championship game. Davis Steele in blue, Kentucky in the home white for La Familia. And right down the pipe and a block right away by Harrison.
A good play, though, from Gabe York. Put 2 on the ball on that handoff, so York's going to have to be a willing passer when that happens, and Watson's got to find a way to finish. But that's just Kentucky for you. All over the place, great length and disruption defensively.
15 on the shot clock. A fumble. It rolls out to Terry Taylor, who was terrific in this building last year for the line drive. First rebound belongs to La Familia.
That's already Willie Cauley-Stein. That wasn't a floater. That was a rainbow put up from Terry Taylor because of the presence of Willie Cauley-Stein. Not only does he block shots, but he alters them.
Darryl Morsell, the former Maryland Terrapin, played his grad year at Marquette. He will drive and miss. Cauley-Stein couldn't control the rebound. Out it comes to Clemens.
You got to hunt those threes if you can, if you're Davis Steele.
And the first 3 of the game is in and out. Out of bounds. It will be La Familia basketball. It's an interesting contrast that you pointed out, Nick. Davis Steele, #1 in the TBT tournament this year in three-point percentage. La Familia, #1 defending the 3.
Yeah, no doubt. La Familia's built to defend the arc, but it's easier said than done. But it's a very interesting matchup when you match strength for strength.
Goodwin, first shot of the day. Offensive rebound. Archie gets another look. Rises up over Bradshaw. Miss on the wing by Davis Steele. Back out front it comes to Anthony Clemens.
You'll notice they'll switch a lot of these screens. They'll probably hedge hard or blitz some of these ball screens, but they switch 5 ways oftentimes.
High archer by York is good to open the scoring.
Look out. Again, we said it in the open. Gabe York, he makes 4 threes a game so far in the TBT.
And shooting 52% outside the arc. Now, reminder, it's the college three-point line, but still, that's impressive.
Very.
Cauley-Stein. Good one. Little space, but a little long.
0 for 3 to start for Archie Goodwin. 3 tough contested jump shots, but those veteran players, they don't ride the roller coaster of confidence.
Batted down by Harrison. Long lead to Goodwin. And Kentucky's on the board.
Could have been a potential and one with Clemens tapping Goodwin on the layup, but always good to see an easy one go down.
Rimming no. Cauley-Stein the rebound. Morsell. We talked about the La Familia defense. Watching them the past 2 weeks, Nick, it's not just the fact that they can switch. They switch with length.
Yes.
These guys are all about 6'5", it seems, except for Cauley-Stein. They all get after it. They bought in, which is so rare, I think, for a team that just plays together for 2 weeks out of the year.
Some teams just want to roll the ball out and try to outscore you, but La Familia has not been like that at all.
Clemens. And another 3 to make it 6-2.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear the discrepancy in styles here. Davis Steele wants to live behind the arc, and Kentucky not a great three-point shooting team. So you'll see Davis Steele will pressure the ball, but they'll sit in those gaps and force La Familia to knock down some jump shots.
You see Clemens' numbers in the tournament, the former Iowa Hawkeye. Just the start of things. Good hands by Clemens defensively. Harrison pinned to that baseline. And a shot clock violation.
You see, again, that disruption. You talked about it, Bob, that length. And oftentimes length manifests itself in deflections and passing lanes. And you get a steal, you get a run out, and then Clemens drilling the triple, the former Iowa Hawkeye. It's Clemens and York that are leading the charge on the perimeter for Davis Steel.
Jen mentioned the rematch, but this Everline Drive Davis Steel team has been to the championship game 3 different times, and they've gone 0 for 2. They want to make amends for that here today.
I do think it makes a difference that they played La Familia last year in this building and were successful. There's a little bit of confidence drawn from that, and it takes some getting used to these Kentucky fans. It is a spectacular scene in here right now.
Good one. Here's McNeil, tapped away, and Gabe York's going to get an easy one. What do you make of the fact, if anything, that here comes Davis Steel playing on a soundstage basically in Las Vegas, and now into this for all the marbles?
It can shock your system a little bit as a man screen from
Bradshaw got level. Long 3 by Maynard. Bell is short. A rebound to Terry Taylor.
Boy, better have your hard hat on. Out there today.
Exactly. Off the glass, Taylor is there, finishes, and it is 10-2. Timeout, La Familia.
Wow, what a start for Davis Steel. It was going to be imperative for Kentucky to get the crowd into it, and so conversely, it's important to take the crowd out of it. Davis Steel, you've been fighting through a steel-sized screen to get up early here in Lexington. 1 year ago, Everline Drive with this same core that is now Davis Steel came into this building and shocked Kentucky. That's Anthony Clemens knocking down the Elam-ending game-winning 3-pointer. So this core group has been able to head into Lexington and emerge victorious, and you can certainly draw confidence from that. And early on, there's a comfort and a confidence that is palpable that you can feel from this core group with Davis Steel, and I have to imagine some of it stems from winning here a year ago.
And that was the championship game of the Lexington Regional last year. Everline Drive went on to the Final Four and ultimately the championship game before losing to the Aftershocks and had a chance to win it in the Elam ending. Kentucky 1 for 8 and 0 for 4 on threes. Looking to jumpstart the offense. And a lay-in for Taylor. Boy, Davis Steel looks composed and ready and calm. Connected.
Well, the first notes I made about this game was got to get the crowd into it if you're Kentucky. Well, the complete opposite has happened. This crowd is stunned. Need some plays to get this group juiced up that is ready to explode these Kentucky fans.
Whitney has been the energy guy for Kentucky. He really gives them a great lift. And he was terrific in that Everline Drive game here last year. Scored 18 and 14 of those points in the 4th quarter in the Elam ending. But they need a spark, big time.
No doubt. And sometimes that's where you're benched. You bring in McNeil as well.
And we got guys hitting the deck. No whistle. McNeil, 3-point shooter. Drives the baseline on York. Shot clock at 10. Coffin. I mean, bodies are flying everywhere, as you would expect with $2 million on the line.
Absolutely. What a recovery from Nate Watson there. Got it clean. Now 8 on the clock.
Nate Watson, 6'10". One of the great Providence Friars of all time.
No doubt.
McNeil. That's just what he can do. Lights out shooter. When he hits his first one, that's usually a good sign.
Very much so. Played well in the first game of TBT, but has struggled since. But he's a guy at West Virginia and Ohio State, 214 made threes in his college career at almost 40%. They need a spark, like you pointed out, Bob. Maybe it's McNeil.
That's going to be a backcourt violation. Clemens, the ball was not touched. He just lost his dribble.
Well, Daryl Melchell was the 2021 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, so he can certainly lock up on that end of the floor.
Here's Goodwin driving, trying to get a whistle, no shot. But first contact came on the drive.
Very close.
20 on the shot clock. Morcell underneath.
These two were barking at each other, Bob, after that made jumper. McNeil, see if he gets another one to go down. Those two guys were having a friendly conversation early on.
And you see Davis Steele hitting a couple of threes. That's going to be off Goodwin, and Goodwin says it was off York. Will Kentucky challenge?
iPads over there on the bench, and you have a challenge here. Ooh, that looks like it's off of York. Great hands from Goodwin, but it looked like it went off of Gabe York's right hand, and John Hood is going to challenge it.
And an alum of Kentucky coaching the alumni team, was a part of the 2012 group that won the national championship under John Calipari. And he's done a terrific job. La Familia's had a different head coach.
Following play is under review for an out of bounds.
And Hood has done a marvelous job.
Bob, you and I have done these games, and while obviously as you take one more look at it, I think it's pretty clear, don't you think, if Archie Goodwin hits it and then Gabe York's right hand. But coaching matters in this event. I mean, you got to get the superstars to come and play. But you got to be organized. You got to have a plan. And John Hood is just that for Kentucky.
The one, the only, Clarence Armstrong. Changing the call. It is indeed off York and belongs to La Familia.
Well, to me, the identity for Kentucky's team is on the defensive end of the floor. That's how they got to get their engine revving. It starts with deflections and steals and turning that into points. It's a dead ball turnover, but it's still a turnover, and back-to-back turnovers.
Morcell protects it. Some intense pressure by Clemens at the point. Morcell scoops. Laying is good. Here's Coffey. A Louisville native. Played at Georgetown College, one of the portal players for the La Familia team. You're allowed 4 on the alumni team. Rutherford gets rid of it. Taylor nails a 3.
So good. The backdoor cut on the side gets that defense sucked in, which leaves that three-point line vacant. Just really good offense from Davis Steele, opening up the three-point line.
Goodwin at the top. He hits a 3, and Goodwin's starting to cook.
Yes, he is. He can hit those tough jump shots off the bounce.
Goodwin's been the leading scorer in TBT, over 26 a game in the tournament. A driving Clemens. La Familia looking in transition with McNeil. .115 left, opening quarter. 3 off the mark by Whitney. Play-in is good.
Boy, Terry Taylor, the all-time leading scorer at Austin Peay, is showing you why.
And a Kentucky native.
Yes.
From Bowling Green. 17-9 Davis Steele. Goodwin dishes out of bounds. It belongs to La Familia. Now here's Terry Taylor, 6 of 12 on threes in the tournament coming in.
And look how wide open he is. And that's all because of the backdoor cut that leaves that three-point line vacant. But Archie Goodwin, there's not a whole lot you can do at 6'5", 6'6", rising up and shooting like he can.
And Nick, Kentucky did not allow open threes like that the entire tournament.
Yes, they've done such a good job defending the three-point line. And Davis Steele has really moved the ball and moved their bodies well with cuts and screens to free themselves up.
Sidestep for Goodwin. York the rebound. York hooks it back. Rodman gives it up. 3 on the way. Rutherford tracks it down in the corner. Taylor's on a personal 9-0 run. Shot clock is dark, but they're going to shoot it anyway. Up and off. Rebound to Coffey.
Mistake there. Needed to get the last shot. We'll see if Kentucky can make them pay.
Goodwin. Blocked by Rodman. That's DJ Rodman, the son of the Hall of Famer.
Who's that?
That would be Dennis Rodman. But perhaps it's Sister Trinity that's a little more famous these days. The great soccer star. 17-9. Shot out of bounds for Kentucky.
Rodman's been a nice portal pickup. Washington State and USC.
Good one at the buzzer. Doesn't get the bounce. And the first period ends with Davis Steele up by 8. The first quarter in the books in Lexington, Kentucky. Kentucky alumni, some long faces, trailing 17-9.
One quarter down, $2 million on the line, and some very clean, crisp offense from Davis Steele right out the gates. Great ball movement. They've gotten really high-quality looks, whether it's in transition or in the half court. Terry Taylor is rolling with 9 points in that first quarter. All in all, Davis Steele's got to feel terrific on how they started this game.
Let's go to Jen.
Bob, just had my head inside that Davis Steele tunnel, and to piggyback off what Nick was saying, look, this is a very high basketball IQ group, very spirited. Everybody's talking, everybody's encouraging each other, and they love the pace they're playing with. They want to run this Kentucky team to death, take advantage of Kentucky's shorter bench. Kind of amazing considering Davis Steele should be the more tired team. They played last, they had to travel here, but it's not showing right now.
Took a red-eye to Cincinnati from Las Vegas after the game on Thursday night. Got to Lexington around 8 in the morning, practiced on Friday and a full practice yesterday. They look fresh and ready. And that is going to be a blocking foul on Davis Steele. Cam McGriff guilty in the lane.
But you see how many bodies are in that paint. They're really trying to plug up those driving lanes, plug up things in the lane, and force Kentucky to knock down some perimeter jump shots.
Khalil Whitney at the foul line for the Kentucky alumni. Free throw shooting has been somewhat challenging for La Familia in TBT as a team, 66%, and Whitney at 58%.
And Archie Goodwin, 15 of 28 from the line in TBT. Just puzzling.
That one barely drew iron. 17-10. This is Terrell Brown on the baseline, pumping it home.
Brown was the hero in the last game against Emeka, hit the Elam-ending game-winning shot in spectacular fashion.
Harrison, little push shot, rims out. 9-point ball game. James Reese played for West Virginia TBT last year and joins Davis Steele this year in a foul. And this is going to be, there's some discussion. I think it may be on Harrison. Let's take a look.
See the Brown. You see Brown with a nice mid-range jump shot. Just a steady guard to bring off the bench, and he'll close games as well at times.
The foul on La Familia, Andrew Harrison, his first. In fact, it's the first foul of the game on La Familia. And sometimes, Nick, that's an indicator that you're not getting after it defensively.
I agree. There's been a few plays that could have been close, as now mess up a switch and you give up a wide open three.
James Reese, who was a scoring machine for West Virginia last year, but has kind of backed off the offense and said, I'll do anything I can for $2 million. His average is 3.5.
And struggled from three, was 1 for 11 from beyond the arc before that one goes down.
Coffey moves in. Rutherford there to defend. Threw up that Davis Steele and denied the shot. Reese missing. And we've got Rutherford with the foul on the glass.
Well, you heard Jen talk about listening into the huddle for Davis Steele about the importance of transition. And Kentucky's the bigger, longer team. Well, size can get negated in the open floor, and Davis Steele is pushing it, attacking early jump shots, running to the rim. And so Kentucky's got to do a better job sorting things out in transition defensive situations.
A capacity crowd here in Lexington, but a pensive crowd indeed. But they know their hoops, and all it's going to take is one defensive stop, one back bucket, and they're right back in it. And here comes La Familia. Morcell gives it up. And a steal, no, a foul as McGriff commits the personal. Former Oklahoma State Cowboy.
Something you haven't seen, and credit Davis Steele for taking it away, is the lobs to Willie Cauley-Stein. Those two-man games between Archie Goodwin or Daryl Morcell with Willie Cauley-Stein rolling to the basket. See if you can find that. That's a huge part of Kentucky's offense.
Maynard Bell short with the three. Cauley-Stein, since game 3 against the Louisville alums, has been a dominant factor at both ends. Haven't heard from him at all today.
Not at all. He's got to put his fingerprints on this game on both ends of the floor.
McGriff cut off by Goodwin. Rutherford on the handoff. Brown trying to create space and drew the foul. Morcell on the arm.
More poise from Brown. See if Morcell got him. Oh yeah, got him on the arm on the way up. Easy call. Jeffrey Anderson all over it. How about the bench for Davis Steele? You're able to sit down Clemens and Terry Taylor and Gabe York, and you bring in new bodies, and they have come in and been rock solid.
28 years old, Terrell Brown out of Seattle. Former Washington Huskies. Was a big-time scorer at Washington of the Pac-12, but there was a Pac-12 in scoring. 21-22. Played at Seattle and Arizona prior.
His godfather is Jason Terry.
The Jet.
The Jet.
24-10. McNeil. Morcell missed the jam, but he was fouled.
Wow, that was athletic. As Rutherford did a good job kind of stunting back and forth. Take a look at this on the baseline. Rutherford's going to kind of jab at him, but then retreat, and Morcell just comes with bad intentions and almost puts Rutherford on a poster. What a great pickup for La Familia and Daryl Morcell. You can get up to four non-alums on your alumni team, and Daryl Morcell was targeted, and he fits in perfectly with this group. We've talked about it all the time, the defensive identity. Well, how about the former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year? He's just seamlessly transitioned with La Familia across the chest.
And rebounding a big part of defense. He has led La Familia in rebounding in TBT. Ball. Second shot. 24-12. Asani grabbed it. Went to the Final Four with South Carolina back in the day. Davis Steele unhurried. That's been the theme since the opening moments. McGriff missing. Cauley-Stein with the rebound. La Familia. Morcell will drive it. Too strong off the glass. York jumps it ahead to Rodman. If you're just witnessing TBT for the first time and you say, wow, that's a lot of contact, welcome to TBT.
That's right. It's physical. The refs really set the tone, not only for every game, but I think the whole tournament. It's called very consistently.
And the players know it.
The players know it, and I think the players going to appreciate it, too. They want consistency, and when $2 million are on the line, you want to let them play. Obviously, there's a line that's got to be there.
York. Goodwin the rebound.
Felt like York just a little thirsty to get in the action. He knocked down his first jumper, has been on the bench, hasn't really been a factor.
Maynard Bell. McNeil from the wing. Big shot.
You called it. Can he be the X factor spark off the bench? Knocks down a jumper early, Gets a 3 to go down, and
It's starting to get noisy. They wake up real quick.
Yes, they do.
York's pass intercepted, and a foul. Nate Watson pushing down Andrew Harrison.
Well, I've always said the crowd, when you're playing, the crowd pumps energy into you defensively. That's where a crowd can really help out the home team. And this group is built on that end of the floor. Just an errant pass. And what a step back from Sean McNeil.
Nick, as a collegiate, you played at Rupp Arena. What was that like?
That was quite an experience. It was taking on Rondo and company, and I was blown away at the size of the arena. You knew it was big, but you walk in, and it's daunting and a little intimidating. I will say my Jayhawks were able to escape with a win, but it was a memory that I will cherish forever, playing in a place like Rupp Arena and against Kentucky.
Another missed free throw. Well, sad story for La Familia and TBT, but it hasn't cost them yet.
You feel like oftentimes you watch the championship game of TBT. Most of the time, they're lower scoring grinder kind of a games. And sometimes the margins are where those lower scoring games can be decided. And free throw shooting can be one of those things.
You don't want to leave the building with any regret.
Absolutely.
York. Davis. Foul. Oh, Watson rather. Foul down the arm, and Big Nate to the foul line.
Watson's got a big body. And he gets right into the chest of Willie Cauley-Stein. He's able to wrestle it away.
Nate Watson pushes the lead to 10.
You mentioned it. He was an excellent college player at Providence. Two-time All-Big East selection, over 1,700 points, 700 rebounds. Like when Ed Cooley's team won the Big East regular season title, they lost in the Sweet 16 to Kansas. This guy was a huge part of a lot of Friar's success, and he's a big part of Davis Steele's run here inside.
And no one in the history of Providence College played more games than Nate Watson. Not Lenny Wilkins, not Billy Donovan, not Jimmy Walker.
Isn't that amazing?
No, Nate Watson.
I think that's one of the more underrated records to possess.
Yes.
You know, everybody talks about the all-time leading scorer or assists or whatever, but games played is a pretty cool one to have in the record books with your name by it.
Goodwin to the line. 2 free throws coming. And we talked about Archie, 54% at the line in TBT. And he, too, having some flashbacks. He spent 4 years with Eberline Drive, now named Davis Steele. Played for La Familia. Last year was in the game that you referenced earlier against Eberline Drive that the Kentucky alums lost. He gets a chance for redemption. There was some talk, Nick, whether or not Archie would even be on this La Familia team this year. And after a 20-point defeat at Freedom Hall, he answered the call to come home.
If you're Kentucky, thank goodness he did, because he has been not good. He's been great. 26 points per game. Any version of Kentucky winning $2 million is going to be led by Archie Goodwin.
York swings it. Gabe, they fly at him, no shot. Now Taylor will drive. Cauley-Stein was held, and he couldn't recover to stop the shot.
Unbelievable rotations defensively, but just better offense from Terry Taylor on a tough little finger roll.
Harrison. Maynard Bell. And a sigh of relief was measured at about 60 miles an hour from Maynard Bell. 28-20. Clemens turns the corner. Here comes Goodwin. 3-minute mark, first half. Lob to Cauley Stein. That's what they've been looking for. Get the big man a touch.
In transition, those drag ball screens, that help defense isn't there, and if it's not, Willie Cauley-Stein's going to rock the rim.
Clemens. Crowd a definite factor. To the wing, and McGriff. And La Familia feeding off the crowd.
Well, right back to it. Little two-man game on the side with Willie Cauley-Stein.
McGriff coming up to pressure the basketball. Cauley-Stein with the screen. Goodwin with the shot. Off the mark. York rebounds. Dave hustles it up quickly. Two men go down. Clemens for three. And this one thrown to the other end of the floor. Taken away by York to the sideline, and Taylor. Tipped in. I think that was Nate Watson.
What a crazy sequence.
30-22. Whitney. That drops.
Tired dudes on the floor and a wet spot on the floor. Everybody needs to take a moment.
Intensity plus at Memorial Coliseum.
The Kentucky fans are alive and well here in Lexington. Maynard Bell hits the three, and then the pick roll lob to Willie Cauley-Stein.
Well, Nick, by after a dreadful first quarter, Kentucky has sharpened its shooting eye here in the second.
And Sean McNeil is coming off the bench. He knocked down 2 jump shots just to provide some confidence for his group. And then you see the patented pick roll lob to Willie Cauley-Stein. Khalil Whitney getting loose in transition, and slowly but surely Kentucky has settled into this game offensively, doing a much better job playing to their strengths.
You talked about Davis Steele's three-point shooting, 1 of 7 in the second.
Not complicated. Your strength has to shine through in big moments, and Davis Steele is built from beyond the arc. So ultimately, if they don't shoot the ball well, they're going to struggle a little bit offensively.
Clemens, Taylor, Davis, Bradshaw, and York on the floor for Davis Steele. Morcell is on Clemens.
You got to crowd York. He will rise up from long range if he gets a sliver of daylight.
Gabe going up with the left hand. That was a prayer at the end of the shot clock. No basket.
Amazing defense, understanding who you are guarding. Crowding Gabe York, running him off the line, sliding the feet, don't bail him out. Really good from Coffey.
Maynard Bell, deep three. Six-point spread. Final minute of the first half. $2 million on the line. Lob broken up. Watson gets rid of it in time, and a connection for Anthony Clemens.
Good poise from Nate Watson amongst the crowd to gather it and not only chin it, but then find Clemens. So many times big guys bring it low and get it stripped, or they panic and flail a bad shot back up.
Morcell swings it. Goodman in on the big guy. Flips, scores.
Well, Bob, you talk about weight room and playing through contact. Bouncing off Nate Watson and still getting all the way to the rim.
Can Kentucky call up the defense and get a stop? 5-4. Long bomb. Clemens, no. And over the glass. And Kentucky's going to have 1.6 to work with.
Any way you slice it here, heck of a job by Kentucky to weather the storm. They were on the ropes early. Finally got the crowd into it.
Checking in for La Familia, number 12.
If they get the ball in McNeil's hands and get him a look, that would be amazing. Just 1.6. Baseball pass blocked. Nate Watson denies Chris Coffey, and that is going to be the end of the first half. Davis Steele, impressive early. Cats scratch back in the second, 32-26. Let's go to Jen.
Thanks, Bob. Coach, monster start to this game. You haven't trailed yet thanks to transition and threes. What have you liked best about your offense?
Well, we're moving it. We're keeping our space, which is really important. They're really good at steering and being really physical. So as long as we can keep our space, we have a good chance of being able to find some pockets. So we'll keep trying to do that first and foremost, for sure.
In that second quarter, the Kentucky squad started settling in, making more shots. What are your defensive adjustments and priorities next half?
Well, I mean, they made shots. They're pros, right? So you assume that's going to happen. I don't think we necessarily got out of funk. We just got to make sure that we keep contesting, keep rebounding. But I think a lot of their offense starts with their defense. So as long as we keep our offense going, I think our defense will follow. So that's our main priority right now.
Thanks, Coach, for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mike Millad's been a head coach of men and women in Australia. Was on the bench as an assistant coach of the Maine Celtics last season. His undefeated Vegas champs, Davis Steele, leading at halftime. 32-26 is our score, and we'll be back with our coverage of TBT's $2 million championship in a moment. This is the 11th TBT game all-time in Lexington. This is the biggest crowd ever to watch the championship. Bob Rath and Nick Baugh with you. But Nick, to Davis Steele's credit, in the din of all this, they came out and controlled the game right from the opening tip.
Got up 14 points at one point. Really delivered that first punch and looked good on both ends of the floor. Offensively, that ball was moving. You see Clemens knocking down the triple. Nate Watson, who did a nice job both on the offensive glass and defending the rim. And then Terry Taylor was great. But Kentucky, credit the Wildcats for settling in, weathering the storm. Cauley Stein with the dunk. You see James Maynard Bell knocking down the three, and Whitney getting downhill, doing what he does best. All things considered, Kentucky is settled in and is very fortunate to be just down 6.
You look at those first half numbers. Terry Taylor had a personal 9-0 run to get him to double figures with 11 in that first half. Let's check in with Jen Hale on the Kentucky side.
Bob, Nick, Kentucky might not have led yet this game, but certainly the second quarter was a marked improvement over the first. They lost the first quarter by 8 points, won the second by 2 points. Talking to John Hood about what changed, how did they settle into a rhythm? He said, we started driving the ball and getting paint touches. That's the key. We are not going to fall in love with the 3 ball. Guys, I love the passion oozing out of him. He's already hoarse, losing his voice from screaming this game.
Something tells me, Jen, he won't be the only one by the time we get through the Elam ending. An interception on the lob pass by Willie Cauley-Stein.
Good defense for Willie Cauley-Stein. Coach Hood wasn't hoarse before the game, so he lost it pretty quick in that first quarter.
Good tap out by Cauley-Stein. And they get the bucket. And one for the big fella. Boy, if he turns it on in the second half, it could be a different ball game.
You aren't lying, Bob. I was just going to say, talk about making an impact on both ends of the floor. He gets the steal on the lob on one end and then just making himself available and doing what he does best. And he was 14 of 17.
But look at him hustle to get the missed free throw.
He's got to make an impact on this game.
Morcell drives in, jumper. Nate Watson controls. Kentucky has moved to within 4. Davis Steele has been relying on the 3 throughout their tournament success. Gabe York backs up to fire over Cauley-Stein, but can't connect. Tapped out, retrieved by Taylor.
Offensive rebounding been a huge part of this game for Davis Steele. Kentucky's got to do a better job cleaning up these possessions as Terry Taylor bully balls his way in for 2. I thought Jen's report was interesting on the conversation with John Hood on there's a balance on you're going to have to knock down some threes if you're Kentucky, but you don't want to fall in love with the jump shot. This is where you got to live. You got to attack the paint.
It's going to be La Familia ball. 20 on the shot clock. This is where moving the ball side to side, not relying on one-on-one play, will benefit. But really, both teams are really La Familia.
Well, when you talk about moving the ball, what it's really doing is moving help. And that's the big thing that happens. You see a nice drive there from Andrew Harrison. But when you talk about ball movement, you're moving the help bodies. And when you're moving the help, you're opening up driving lanes. As you see, just a nice usage of the size and the athleticism. Harrison just has a way of drawing fouls at a high rate.
Andrew Harrison played in Kentucky from 13 to 15. Another missed free throw. They are 5 of 10 at the line. And this has been a tournament-long problem for La Familia.
It's amazing how sometimes things like the free throw line can be contagious for missing. And another miss.
And these are pros.
Yes.
These are good shooters.
No doubt.
6-point Davis Steele lead.
The potency of Kentucky's offense is tied to their defense. They got to force turnovers. They got to get stops and get out in transition. Gonna have to take it up a notch on this end of the floor.
And good hands by Harrison.
Just like this.
A leak out for Goodwin.
That's the recipe, Bob. It's pretty simple.
And Kentucky, Nick, has shown through 2 weeks of play when they turn it on defensively, particularly in the Elam ending, they can really create a lot of havoc.
They can suffocate you. Another steal from Goodwin.
Morcell leads the break. He's got Stein underneath. And lost the handle. And they're going to say that ball was tipped. They may change, or are they? No, they're going to stick with the call.
Just defense leading the offense. Get a steal, get a run out, get 2. And that's the way Kentucky wants to play. That's what Coach Hood has talked about and where this team is built.
Taylor spins middle. And he pushed off to get Collie Stein out of the way and try to get an offensive rebound and a stick back, but they caught him this time. Yes, you do need your helmet and shoulder pads.
You do. It's getting close. It's almost football season. There's been some ISOs and some counters and some toss sweeps going on this basketball court.
Goodwin. That's a foul. 2 free throws. Clemens, the guilty party. Goodwin to the line.
A good hard foul, though, from Clemens, especially understanding this guy has struggled from the free throw line. Come in there, put your body on the line, and make Goodwin go earn 2.
Archie Goodwin joined this ball club after a 20-point blowout at Freedom Hall. Kentucky had to win to stay alive. He responded, had 22 points, another missed free throw. At his first Elam ender against the Ville. Terrific 30-point game against Boeheim's Army. Outstanding against the Kansas alums. But they cannot buy a free throw.
Man.
And for $2 million, you'd think they could at least get one.
Afford a few, you know.
Catch and shoot for Rodman. 3-pointer strips the net. And a timeout for La Familia, or is it? No, yes, it is a timeout. Well, half the club thinks it's a timeout. The other half is playing.
That's inexcusable for La Familia, just not getting matched up and giving up an easy 3.
37-30.
Missed free throws are just morale killers, too.
Yes. Crossover for Harrison. Glass. And I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but he's going to the line.
One thing you don't want to see is sometimes, pros usually not the case, and these guys are pros. Sometimes missing free throws can deter your desire to drive the ball to the basket. As you see, just nobody talking, nobody getting matched up, and Rodman splashes a triple. What you do not want to see is Harrison and Goodwin and Morcell start to settle for tough jump shots because they don't want to go to the free throw line.
And the crowd responds. That was more of a thank you applause.
Yes, it was. There are different types of roars from the crowd.
It ripped out. Oh, my.
Man.
Back to a 6-point game. Clemens.
Lost York. Look out.
Goodwin a little late. York burns it. Three-pointer for Gabe York to make it a 9-point game.
Well, if we could get that replay, it'd be great to see just movement without the ball and no communication. And York's been quiet and finally gets a good clean look and smokes it.
And defensively, Nick, it's so atypical for La Familia with what they've done the first 5 games. A miss by Goodwin.
A lot of it's been talk, Bob, that's given up some of these threes, just not communicating.
Gabe York switched out against Willie Cauley-Stein. Into the lap of Harrison. Goodwin rights himself. Morcell. Goodwin drives, scoops, misses, gets his own miss. Loose ball to Morcell. 10 on the shot clock. Goes up and in.
Wow. That little deceleration. When you are slow at the end of the drive, it disrupts the timing of the block shot. And it's able to free up just enough for Morcell to lay it in.
40-33. And York gets pushed by Harrison.
So, Bob, watch York. He's going to start in the left corner, and he's going to get all the way to the opposite wing. He's going to come from underneath, see him moving there. No talk. You got to always stay attached to his body, and he makes you pay. But that's a guy that scored a lot of points in his basketball career, understanding the importance of moving without the ball.
Gabe York, his second three. And again, he's been the leading scorer for Davis Steele at 19.5 a game. Also, with all the pressure that he has seen defensively, he's only turned the ball over 3 times the entire tournament.
Yeah, he gets, for all intents and purposes, face guarded at all times, other than that last possession where they just didn't communicate. But people are physical with him. They're into his body. They're trying to run him off the three-point line. And sometimes if you're not strong with the rock, you can turn that thing over. But York has been solid.
Rutherford lays it up and off, and a foul on La Familia.
That's a good job from Davis Steele. When York comes off a ball screen, there's going to be 2 on him. And when that's the case, the roll man's the open man. And that was Rutherford. And he's able to get all the way to the basket and draw a foul. But it starts with the threat of the three-point shot from York.
Tommy played in this building last year. A noticeable hitch in his free throw. He's 5 for 7 at the line in the tournament. San Diego product, played at Cal Irvine on their glory team that won 31 games and made their first NCAA tournament appearance back in 2019.
Had a great career. First team All Big West, 1,000-point scorer, 600 rebounds, and he's a nice big off the bench for Davis Steele. All effort, all the time.
Davis Steele up by 9 now. McNeil, an open look. He has to hit those.
Those shots got to go down. That's a wide open look for a big-time shooter.
From the corner, Rodman. Offensive rebound again for Davis Steele. Powers up, blocked. Morcell got that one. It's out of bounds. We have a timeout. 3:31 is the time remaining in the third quarter. Daryl Morcell with another big defensive play for La Familia, but Davis Steele in control by 9. It was a finish in Las Vegas Thursday night that even David Copperfield couldn't believe it. The Mecca had 5 cracks at it to win the game in Elam Ending. They just needed a point, couldn't get it. And Davis Steele got ultimately the rebound, and Terrell Brown hit the Elam Ender. Crazy.
Wild. One of the bigger roller coaster Elam Ending periods you'll ever see. And Davis Steele was able to escape, as you said, David Copperfield, David Blaine-esque out of Vegas with the Elam Ending win thanks to Brown and that triple in transition.
3:31 to go in the third quarter, and like we felt in the first, Bob, this is a La Familia team that just seems to be hanging on. No basket to foul before the shot. But Nick, La Familia, obviously, we've talked about the free throws, but they seem out of sorts.
They do. And I think missing free throws, they're 1 for 7 from the free throw line in this third quarter, and I think it's taken the wind out of their sails a little bit. And got to have a momentum switching play here, and ultimately those free throws got to start to go down because Kentucky's got to continue to have a paint mindset, and they're going to go back to that charity stripe.
Second chance again. York in the bucket for 3, and Davis Steele leads it by a dozen.
Amazing. Every time there just hasn't been enough crisp communication from the Kentucky alumni group. Davis Steele has burned you from beyond the arc.
Goodwin's pass intercepted by Gabe York.
York hunts in these spots here. He's just made one.
Taylor. And the lead is 14. And now you've got to be thinking, if you're La Familia, we're getting to the end of the third quarter here. That Elam ending, that mountain can't be too tall to climb, and we have no chance.
You got to chip into this thing.
Coffee gets 2. And with that, a timeout by La Familia. 2:35 to play. Third quarter. Davis Steele in its third attempt in a TBT championship for the money. And Gabe York looking good. 47-35. Davis Steele in front. (47-35) Davis Steele. 2:35 to go in the third. TBT fans, show your pride and support your favorite team with official merchandise. Shop now at thetournament.com and represent your team all tournament long. Bob Rathman, Nick Bodd, Jen Hale back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, where the home team is in trouble. 47-35. Davis Steele, formerly known as Everline Drive, making its third TBT championship game appearance, and they are getting closer by the minute to $2 million. Taylor for 3.
Do people know how hard that is? The no-dip catch-and-shoot 3. You get another look at that. Terry Taylor caught that above his shoulders and went straight up with it. Unbelievable shot.
Largest lead for Davis Steele. Cauley Stein. Now to Morcell. Back to the big fella. And he's banged around by Rutherford. Also grabbed on the way by Terry Taylor.
Watch this, Bob. Great cut. And then watch the no dip. Catch straight up. And that is so hard to do. When you're the all-time leading scorer at Austin Peay, you know what to do with the rock when you get it. He has been tremendous today for Davis Steele.
How fantastic a feeling for Terry Taylor to come back to the Bluegrass State and do this with all the money on the line. Willie Cauley Stein. Well, prior to that free throw, Kentucky was 6 for 15.
That's the glaring element on the stat sheet right now that would flip this game. But if you're Kentucky, and I'd imagine John Hood talked about in the last timeout, time isn't a factor because the clock is going to shut off at some point. And so the defense can carry you to win, but you got to take it up a notch on this end of the floor, and that's going to make offense easier.
Gabe York bumps it off the side of the rim, and it's out of bounds to Davis Steele.
You cannot be surprised, Bob, when Gabe York shoots those kind of shots. And he is hunting off the dribble threes. Doesn't matter how draped the defense is on him or how deep he is.
Here he is, catch and shoot on the out-of-bounds play. And we've got a foul on the Kentucky alums, and this is on Harrison.
Looking like a different Rodman on that backside rebound there. Just wedged Harrison in. Dodged a bullet, though. That's just a staggered screen. Wide open look for Gabe York. And watch Rodman just wedge. Most of the misses go to the opposite side. His dad understood that. His son understands that.
Dad made a living off of it.
Yes,
got him in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
50-37. Lob and a foul. And Taylor's going to the line. Davis Steele in complete command right now.
Watch this. Great X's and O's. You just ran York off a staggered and you lost him. So everybody thinking about that. So what do you get? The slip to the basket. And you get the lob. Everybody worried about York coming off the screens, and it's Taylor running to the rim.
Terry Taylor played 4 years at Austin Peay. In the game in this building last year, he had quite the homecoming with 20. He's got 19 today. This one drops, and it's 52-37. La Familia is almost at the point in the game now. They've got to play error-free basketball, maximize the offense, and get something defensively. Foul was called on Gabe York.
Jeffrey Anderson saying York got him on the hip on the shot. That's probably the right hand of York, or the left hand, just that little nudge. Sometimes those veteran players get away with those kinds of fouls, and Jeffrey Anderson was able to see it, and he's telling me, saying, I got you. I saw it.
You know, you watch Harrison's body language, and it's not that of a confident shooter.
No.
Not for Harrison in particular, but just the whole vibe of this Kentucky team at the line has changed. Big offensive rebound for Willie Cauley-Stein. Maynard Bell. Nope. Rebound to Gabe York. Kentucky can't say they haven't had opportunity.
No doubt about it. A lot of basketball left, though.
Intercepted by Maynard Bell.
Got to push it here.
Tap to the wing, and Goodwin.
This is the guy. This is the guy that's got to put his cape on here for his group and start making things happen. It's go time for Archie Goodwin. $2 million on the line. It's time.
Maynard Bell. Contact. Dunk for Cauley-Stein.
Plenty of game left for La Familia.
Shot clock is 2 seconds ahead of the game clock here as we come to the end of the third. Elam ending in the fourth. John Mugar's getting his checkbook ready. Almost time for the fourth quarter. Brown. Taylor. Shakes Maynard Bell over Cauley-Stein. Air ball. Rebound to Goodwin from midcourt at the buzzer. Oh, just missed it. And that would have set this place rocking. As it stands, it's a 12-point game at the break. We go to the fourth quarter. The Elam ending is right around the corner.
When there's $2 million on the line, your stars have to shine. And the stars for Davis Steele have been shining bright. Terry Taylor and Gabe York have been outstanding. In particular, Terry Taylor, he's got 20 points, and he's done a little bit of everything. But his three-point shooting and that lightning quick release has been lethal. Gabe York always strapped and confident in what he's doing. Great movement without the ball, in particular in that third quarter. These two guys have been shooting the rock, and they got Davis Steele close to potentially capturing 2 million big ones.
For Matt Mitchell and Jacob Hirschman, they are that close. The co-GMs and co-founders of Everline Drive, the only original TBT team left in the field, and they are an Elam ending away from a $2 million payday. But you just feel with this crowd, La Familia is going to make things interesting. And a drive by Goodwin nets him 2 free throws. Rutherford's third foul.
Again, I'm going to reiterate what I said a second ago. If I'm John Hood, I am telling this team we have all the time in the world, because guess what? The clock is going to shut off when it turns to Elam ending time. And if you get stops, we can play all day. But it starts with defense, and it also starts with knocking down these free throws too.
The nightmare at the line continues as we check in with Jen.
Bob, Nick, the strain, the stress is certainly starting to show for La Familia in that huddle. They're talked about making sure they're communicating better out there and defensively, switching everything all the time. Try to throw a little confusion Davis Steele's way. Find a way to get back in this. They are hyper aware of that 4-minute mark on the clock in this quarter, gentlemen.
Taylor. And it's going to be Davis Steele ball.
I completely echo what Jen was talking about there. Just no communication at times. And there, Kentucky wasn't ready to play. And they weren't ready to.
Morcell comes up limping. He's okay.
But there, no one weren't ready to play.
They've been stunned.
Yes. Weren't ready to play. Ball's live. Throw it in. Now Terrell Brown's at the free throw line.
Davis Steele, ironically, is Kentucky-based in Russell Springs. They make steel tubing, chain link fencing, and Liberty, Kentucky natives Ashley and Adam Davis, who were a sponsor of La Familia, contacted Everline Drive and said, you know what, we want to sponsor your team. Thus the name change. So a lot of Kentucky ties, and they've looked great today.
Yes, no doubt. Long time coming for this Davis Steele / Everline Drive group.
Good one. Morcell threw it away. Been that kind of an afternoon for Kentucky.
Well, one of the issues with La Familia's roster, there's a lot of great things. The one thing that is maybe missing is a true pure point guard. And Archie Goodwin's more of a combo scoring guard. Daryl Morcell more of a defense combo guard.
This one thrown away and out of bounds to La Familia. That ball was not touched. So they'll go back to the baseline. And Kentucky gets a break. Your point about the clock is a great one, but they've got 4 minutes to get this thing down to about 6 or 7.
Agreed.
Have a chance. Cauley-Stein blocked by Rutherford. And out of bounds to Davis Steele.
See if they want to take a look at it.
Is La Familia going to challenge? I believe they are, yes. The Kentucky alums won a first-half challenge.
Previous play is under review.
And now we've got some tensions.
A little bit of barking from John Hood and the Kentucky bench to DJ Rodman and some of the Davis Steele players.
Boy, you've had everything your way, Davis Steele. You can't lose your cool now.
Well, and you don't want to give any reason to wake up Big Blue Nation and Kentucky right now.
I think they got the wake-up call.
Yes.
That shook them up.
I think that's a mistake. Well, let's see. This one's close. Again, it was called Davis Steele's ball. That touched Taylor's hand last.
After further review, it's white basketball.
They won the challenge. The little finger of Taylor's right hand appeared to be the last touch.
Well, this place is going to erupt if you can get a basket out of this.
And the whooping continues as the teams gather near the Kentucky bench.
Haven't been able to get that Willie Cauley-Stein lob very much.
In the first game, Daryl Morcell slipped a screen and dunked one on the Elam Ender. And no call. Inbounded to Cauley-Stein. Here's Goodwin, one-on-one. Goodwin kicks it out. Catch and shoot, miss. Tipped out, but into the hands of Gabe York. Whitney could not connect on the three. Anthony Clemens at the UK logo. Pick and roll with Rutherford. The big fella lays it in with the left hand.
What a screen from Rutherford. He really headhunts, and that creates the opportunity on the roll. The little things coming up big for Rutherford.
Goodwin pump fakes. Morcell for three. Loose ball to Morcell. He drives, and that's a blocking foul on Rodman.
The little details matter when you're trying to get $2 million. Watch this ball screen set. Really jams up Goodwin, and that creates the rolling opportunity. You got shooters on that backside, so help doesn't want to come in and sink in and take away the roll. Rutherford, stat sheet won't jump out at you, but he's made an impact off the bench.
Morcell drills the free throw. He is one Kentucky Wildcat representative that has not been afflicted by the poor free throw shooting. He's 3 for 3. .707 on the game clock.
Just that free throw shooting, just domino effect with the confidence. It's taking the crowd out of it a little bit. Certainly, obviously impacts the scoreboard.
Davis Steele looking to pad their lead to go to the Elam ending. That happens at the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Pedro Bradshaw. McNeil on him. Rutherford in the paint. Taylor in front of the bench. Spins in on Morcell. Cats looking to run, and a bad pass. It was tipped. Gabe York has daylight. Kentucky survives that one. Ahead to Goodwin. 6:28 on the game clock. Goodwin to the hole. Just nothing inside, but Rutherford with a little too much contact.
The roller coaster continues. Now back to the free throw line. Again, I like that it is the missed free throws have not deterred Archie Goodwin's willingness to continue to attack. But now you got to step up. You got to knock him down.
La Familia's hit only 3 threes in this game. We've well documented the problems at the foul line. Goodwin 3 for 6. Make that 3 for 7.
See him take a step back. He was fading away. He shot it, and all his shoulders, everything was going backwards. He's got to stay on that line, finish his shot. Whenever I was struggling with my shot, I always thought about holding my follow-through. That was my kind of get-right trick. Much better.
2:23 until the Elam ending. Clemens. Bradshaw. Taylor. Air ball. But Nate Watson, the offensive rebound. That's been another big story for Davis Steele. Clemens rocking. Drives in on Maynard Bell. Tip. Taylor again. Watson. My goodness.
Incredible winning effort from Nate Watson.
Bradshaw spins middle. Taylor the offensive rebound. And they are killing Kentucky on the glass.
And it's multiple guys. It's everybody from Davis Steele getting in on the action. Just Terry Taylor wedging inside and now getting to the free throw line. And, you know, we talk about demoralizing moments when you're missing free throws. Giving up offensive rebounds also takes the wind out of your sails, too. And look at those numbers. 20 offensive rebounds for Davis Steele.
And overall, the 21 second chance points. Combine that with the poor free throw shooting for La Familia, and that's why it's as lopsided as it is. Taylor adds to their pain and misery here in Lexington. The Kentucky native makes it 57-44. McNeil. Free throws coming.
Good action. I love it whenever there's a situation where Willie Cauley-Stein sets a ball screen and he rolls, and if you get a back pick with it, it really creates some confusion, and that confusion created a closeout and a drive for McNeil.
I've been busting your ass all game, baby. Don't worry about me.
Sean McNeil, another native Kentuckian out of Union, went to Cooper High School before that heralded collegiate career that Nick talked about earlier. 57-45, and he too suffers the same fate at the foul line. 57-45. This capacity crowd cannot believe what they're seeing at the free throw strike. Clemens.
You can tell Davis Steele willing to just slow things down in the half court a little bit. And Clemens is good with the basketball in his hands and ball screens. So is Gabe York.
Well, you've got to give Davis Steele and head coach Mike Malott a lot of credit for coming in here on the road and playing as complete a game as you could want.
No doubt. The plan, the purpose has been crisp and rock solid. Coach Malott with the Celtics in the G League as an assistant coach, and he really is a high-level basketball mind, and that has made a big difference in this tournament and today.
59-45, Davis Steele. McNeil gets a look from three. This is the point of the game where that three-point shot, it gets a little tougher to make. You're under so much duress and pressure, even if you have an open look.
Especially when you're down 14, too.
Not all three-point opportunities are created equal.
No, they are not.
The largest TBT crowd in Lexington history in stunned disbelief. Taylor. 5 on the shot clock. Gave up a mid-ranger. Corner three for Clemens, no. And this one thrown away. The outlet pass beyond the reach of Goodwin.
You see Bell, he took his eyes off Goodwin. He started looking up the floor as he threw that ball and thought Goodwin was going to start running up the floor.
Keep in mind, the largest deficit a team has ever come back from inside the Elam ending is 10. And Kentucky staring at a 14-point deficit with 31 seconds before we shut the clock off.
And if Davis Steele, they're oh so close to being able to take it to that 4-minute mark, calling timeout and triggering the Elam ending, but they can't quite on this possession here. Going to cue that clock, though.
Now we have a whistle. Jeff Anderson stopping things here. I think the clock may be off just a bit. They want to make sure. Shot clock is should be at 7 and is reset. There's still conversation here with the officials.
I don't know why that wouldn't be a fresh 30. James Maynard Bell got the rebound. He had possession of it and threw it away.
I believe it originally was. Was it 4:31 with a 30-second clock? Well, that benefits La Familia if they get a stop. Because you talked about it, how they couldn't run it out.
This is what it should have been. It's more about, to me, what the clock was reset to. But
Taylor Air ball out off Nate Watson. And La Familia is going to get a chance to knife into the lead here. If they could somehow bury a three, it would keep hope alive for the Elam ending. Morcell.
Call timeout if you're Davis Steele.
And they take it. They just were waiting to get the ball over the midcourt line. And the timeout is taken. That stops the game clock and sets the target score at 67 for the Elam ending. $2 million at stake when we come back. It has come down to this, our Elam ending. The game clock has been shut off. The target score established by adding 8 points to Davis Steele's lead. The target score is 67. The first team to hit that will win the $2 million. The shot clock continues on. Team fouls continue on. It's 4 for Davis Steele, 3 for La Familia as we come down now to the Elam ending to decide the tournament champion. Davis Steele had the possession to set the target score, and now they've got 20 seconds on the shot clock. A quick three. A drive by York and a miss.
York missed Watson on the roll there, but instead a tough two.
And a pickoff by Clemens over to York. Down the middle to Taylor. And they're 6 away.
First basket just allows you to breathe a little bit.
Goodwin, high glass, tipped out by Cauley-Stein. Three-pointer, short. Gets his own miss. Back to Goodwin. Pressure by Brown. La Familia has got to find a way to score 20 points. Dunk follow. That's 2 of them for Cauley-Stein.
Goodwin's got to be in attack mode. His penetration attracted the shot blocker, created the rotation rebound, but the ball's got to be in Goodwin's hands, and he's got to be attacking.
Clemens. Well, the one thing, no matter what the lead is in the Elam ending, Nick, and you've seen 1,000 of these, you can't get 3-ball happen.
No. And you have to continue to play basketball and move. You can't get stagnant either and just play hero ISO ball. So Davis Steele, what's worked for them has been ball and body movement. That has to remain the same even though you're in the Elam ending.
York. Shot clock at 10. Cauley-Stein got a hand on that one. Step back, fire, miss, air ball, and it's out of bounds to La Familia. Harrison and Nate Watson got all tangled up under the glass, and Harrison saying, come on, man.
That's a clutch defensive sequence, though, from Willie Cauley-Stein. He got put on an island against Gabe York, understood the shot clock, and understood who he was guarding. So he crowds him, forces the three. It's an air ball and a stop for Kentucky. You just got to chip away at this thing. It all starts with the defensive end of the floor.
La Familia's track record over the past 2 weeks is they've done that, Nick.
Yes.
They've gotten to the Elam ending, and they've really juiced it defensively, but they've not had a mountain to climb like this.
But if there's a team that's built to just choke a team out for 10 straight minutes, it's La Familia.
Goodwin. Harrison. Corner three is good by Goodwin.
Look out.
This crowd doesn't need much to get behind their beloved Cats. Davis sets up for grabs. Pulled out of the air by Taylor, now to York. Davis Steele 6 points away. Taylor on the wing. Whitney defending. The shot's up and off.
Well, no Willie Cauley-Stein on the floor, so you got shooters and guards everywhere. You can switch everything and drive it.
York went down. Morcell gets inside, and he's fouled.
Well, whether it was not wanting to shoot or unselfishness. A couple of Wildcats turned it down, but Archie Goodwin doesn't. We said the Elam ending time is Archie Goodwin time. One of the better possessions ends in a rhythm triple. Got to have it, and Goodwin does.
Focus on the foul line. Baltimore native Daryl Morcell. Another missed foul shot. They've made 14. They've missed 14.
Unbelievable.
Every point crucial in this Elam ending. Now Davis Steele.
Kentucky just switching everything and pressing out to the three-point line, and you're susceptible to slips like this.
Rutherford, 4 points away.
Again, combat this anxiety with execution. That's what Davis Steele did there. Beautiful offensive sequence.
Free ball for Maynard Bell. 11 away for Kentucky, but they have to get stops. Clemens against Harrison. Timeout. Davis Steele.
Well, finally, the lid coming off the basket from beyond the arc. You saw Goodwin hit a triple there, a little empty side pick and pop. Rutherford not fleet of foot, being able to get out there. Again, usually that's Cauley Stein, but he's off the floor, so that floor is spread. But the other end, no Cauley Stein, no rim protection, so Rutherford's able to take advantage of it and get that slip and easy layup.
For Davis Steele, you're still in good shape. But defensively, do you have the thought there's no need to guard the paint? Just get on that three-point line. That's the only way we can get beat.
To a certain extent, I also believe you got to stick with what has got you here, and that has been crowding up those driving lanes and forcing them to knock down those free throws as well. But certainly the three-point shot is what scares you the most, given the situation. And having to get to 67 being that target score. But ultimately, you got to be able to guard the. It starts with corralling the basketball if you're Davis Steele.
But discussions like this is what makes Elam ending so interesting.
Because it changes things dramatically. There's no clock. You're playing to a score. Willie Cauley-Stein back on the floor now, so you got a little rim protection.
And the referees imploring the players to back off a little with the contact. They don't want to have to blow the whistle. Bradshaw swatted down by Cauley-Stein. Here comes Goodwin. He's going to take it to the rack. Rebound, Gabe York. Davis Steele 4 points away. Here comes a layup. It's no good by Terrell Brown. And a foul on La Familia.
Boy, Willie Cauley-Stein gets back on the floor. He makes his presence felt immediately with the volleyball spike block that springboards Archie Goodwin the other way. He can't get it to go down, and it's a run out for Brown, who's now at the free throw line.
Timeout, La Familia. We are in the Elam ending with $2 million on the line to the winner.
Well, the interesting thing right now is what do you do with Willie Cauley-Stein? Certainly, when offensively you get more shooting and the floor gets a little more spread with him on the floor, but defensively, I mean, he's arguably the best, if not the best, defensive player in the TBT. Talking about a former National Defensive Player of the Year in 2015. So one of the things you got to figure out is what you're doing with Willie Cauley-Stein. It looks like he's still in the game here.
11 turnovers forced, 8 of them by steals. They blocked 6 shots. But here's what the Kentucky team is up against. Terrell Brown's going to the foul line. If he can knock down one of them, Davis Steele will come down the floor and the three-pointer can end it.
No doubt.
So you've got to somehow play airtight defense and start accumulating some easier baskets to cut this thing down, because you are really, if Taylor can come, Brown rather, can come through at the line, you're really playing with fire.
Well, and that's another thing with Willie Cauley-Stein. His rim protection isn't as important when you're talking about trying to take away the three-point shot. You'd rather have everybody switch and be able to press out and be a little more fleet of foot. But ultimately, you ride with the horse that got you here. And Willie Cauley-Stein is that guy. But you're exactly right. At least getting one free throw here, if you're Davis Steele, is massively important. But the other thing you got to think about, if you're Davis Steele, you're down 3, or if you're 3 points away from that target score, you don't have to hunt threes. You can go get a 2, because oftentimes defenses are running you off that line. So again, once again, you said it a second ago, all these sorts of discussions are what make the Elam ending so fascinating.
And then if he gets both free throws, then it's a 2 or a 3 to win, and that opens everything up.
Yes, playbook is fully open. Willie Cauley-Stein staying on the floor for La Familia, which I think is the right move.
3 away from $2 million. Eberlein Drive, an original TBT team. Lampooned by Sports Illustrated back in the day. Eberlein Drive, a cul-de-sac in Michigan, where the co-GMs Matt Mitchell and Jacob Hirschman grew up. And they've got a chance now the next time down the floor to win it. Goodwin fouled in midair by Taylor. And Clarence Armstrong didn't like that show of emotion. Put the whistle in his mouth, but no technical. And it's going to be 3 free throws for Goodwin.
It's interesting because Goodwin never shot them. So it's 3 free throws, but the ball never left his hands.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting here.
This, if successful, and that's saying something the way Kentucky shot free throws today, but if successful on all 3, they can get this thing down to 8.
It's a big sequence. Well, this is where Davis Steele has gone small too. And so on this 3rd free throw, Terry Taylor and Anthony Clemens got to be ready to pinch Willie Cauley-Stein and keep him off the glass. So this rebound is going to be crucial here. That guy right there has got to smell blood with no Nate Watson or Rutherford on the floor for Davis Steele.
A lot of chatter on that foul line. Goodwin hits all 3. 59, 8 away for Kentucky, 2 away for Davis Steele.
Well, the reason you go small is because you need ball handling on the floor right now. You got multiple guys that can bring it up. Here we go.
$2 million on the line right here. Brown hits the red to Rich's story comes true. Davis Steele is the TBT champion. Terrell Brown with the floater. What a shot.
Well, the hero in the last Davis Steele win over the Mecca is the hero for $2 million. Terrell Brown, a ridiculously tough floater. Champs, Davis Steele.
What a win. The Eberlein Drive story comes full circle. Let's go to Jen.
Here with Terrell, guys. Terrell, congratulations. Walk me through that floater.
My coach told me to be aggressive. Sorry, I didn't mean to hold the hand and everything. But my coach told me to be aggressive off the screen. I seen that it was, heavy, helping with sap. So I seen the lane and I took my opportunity and it paid off.
You guys led this thing from the beginning, never trailing altogether. And he gets the ice bath for it. $2 million and an ice bath. It's worth it, I think,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. It's worth every minute. I mean, we came together with these guys in 2 weeks. And these guys are my brothers, man. Yeah, boy. But these are my brothers. I mean, we've been here 3 times in a row. Final Four, and then championship game last year. This year, it was destined for us. It was destined for us.
What was the difference this year that pulled you through?
Experience. A lot of guys came back. We had a lot of experience. And my bad. It was just experience for my guys. You know, we had a great group of guys here that all wanted to win for each other. It wasn't about one individual. It was for everybody. So it's a great experience.
Well, go put that placard up. Congratulations, Terrell, and enjoy that prize money.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Terrell Brown wins a G League championship with Greensboro, a Summer League championship with Charlotte, and a TBT title for Davis Steele. Not a bad 2026.
Not bad at all. And credit the coaching staff for Davis Steele for putting Terrell Brown in to close the game. And playing with confidence. That's over Willie Cauley-Stein for $2 million. And it's been a long time coming for Davis Steele. Multiple trips to the championship game, 3 trips to the championship game, multiple trips to the semifinals, been knocking on that door, and they finally kicked that door down on the road in front of a hostile crowd.
What a feeling. Davis Steele, the TBT champions. And when we come back, don't go anywhere. We've got the check presentation, the trophy presentation. It's all coming up on Fox. 67-59 is the final score. Terrell Brown Jr. from coast to coast with the winner.